fellas, never get left on red ever again and get my free ebook and my free audio program that's only free for limited of time and learn some groundbreaking texting advice. Being a simp is based off the why and the energy behind exactly what you are doing. So simping it's a frequency, it's an energy, it is a vibration. Just like being an alpha male is a frequency, it's an energy, it's a vibration. And we're gonna get a little bit more into that as we go through this. So I know you guys seen the title of this video, and it's you don't have to do strategies if you understand this. And simping is behind the why of things. So for an example, as long as you can ask yourself why you are about to do what you're about to do when you're talking to a woman, and you can be emotionally honest with yourself, you don't really need to have strategies. Like I have a client who used to call his woman every night not because he wanted to talk to her. He called her every night because he was trying to make sure that she wasn't outside being a whore. She wasn't at a party. She wasn't at a bar. No other guys was around. That is simp fucking behavior. Versus him wanting to call her every night because he wanted to hear her voice. He actually wanted to see how her day was going. He was just being consistent. That is a different why. It's a non-needy energy. See, a lot of guys don't really understand the true meaning of a simp. Like the word simp comes from the word simpleton or simple-minded. Simpleton and simple-minded are guys who thinks of things as everything being simple. Like if I just please her, if I just do this for her, if I just, if I just be a good guy, if I make sure that she's not cheating on me, she won't do it. That's simple-minded, narrow-minded behavior. On a surface level, it seems like it's logical that if you do all of those things, that things should just work out for themselves. But what about the other majority of guys who have this simple mind and their relationships is vile and horrendous, eminently just unsettling? Like a simp, when he thinks, the energy that he thinks from and the mindset and the why behind why he does things is to please a woman. It's to nurture his insecurities. It's to get validation from the woman. And it's like I said, there's nothing wrong with getting validation from a woman. I don't want you guys to actually think that. There's kind of nothing wrong with getting validation from a woman, but most simps only get their validation from just women. Only. They have no other outside sources of validation. They only want the validation of women. They only want to please a woman. Their why behind life is just fucking women. They have no other reason, no other identity outside of women. But an alpha, on the other hand, he pleases himself. Like I got guys asking me, how do I please her in bed? How do I do this? How do I do that? And my thought process is, how's she gonna do this for me? How's she gonna please me in bed? How's she gonna do this? How's she's gonna do that? Because an alpha male pleases himself. An alpha male has a life outside of women. Alpha male still gets validation from women, but an alpha male gets his source of validation is not strictly from women. He has other sources of validation. Like I get validation from you guys. I get validation from doing my YouTube, my TikToks. I get validation from having hobbies. I get validation from my friends. You get what I'm saying? Like I have so many different sources of validation. So when one source of validation gets cut off, I'm not truly worried. I'm not truly worried. I get validation knowing from the fact that I can go outside and I can approach any woman and get rejected and know that it's a numbers game, and I can just go keep approaching women, and eventually I'm gonna hit something. I get validation just from knowing something like that. An alpha male pleases himself. Guys asking me, how do I please her in bed? Like I said, how she's gonna please me in bed? Most guys' confidence is in validating or pleasing a woman. I don't live my life to please a woman. You shouldn't live your life to please a woman. You cannot please a woman. But I digress. Like I want you guys to get more profound and really have a unique understanding about this shit. A simp can call a girl one time and he can still be having that needy ass, insecure, smothering ass energy. He calls her one time and doesn't ever call her again. Still, she can feel the energy of his neediness versus an alpha male who can call her one time, two times, three times, and she can still feel that he's an alpha male. Let me say this, if you are truly in your alpha male energy, your alpha male frequency, your alpha male vibration, an alpha can do everything opposite that what a simp thinks is alpha and still be looked at as an alpha male. Like an alpha male can fucking text a girl, double text and do all of this shit and still be looked at as alpha. An alpha male can call a girl 2-3 times and still be looked at as alpha because he's not coming from a thirsty, desperate, needy energy when he is doing the things. The reason why an alpha doesn't do those types of things is because an alpha has pride, dignity, and ego. And he's not here trying to please a woman. A simp, when he doesn't do it, he does it because he's like, okay, if I don't text her 2 or 3 times, if I don't do it, she's gonna like me, right? Yeah, so let me just do this strategy. I'm not gonna text her 2 or 3 times, and maybe she's gonna text me back. You might win, you know, it might trick some girls, and you might win, but down the road, because you're not truly from the frequency of an alpha, you haven't made yourself the best man that you needed to be. You didn't learn how to regulate your emotions, your energy, your frequency. Down the road, she gonna knock you down the pocket. She gonna charge your ass to the game because she gonna see that it was a facade. It was a fable. Like what I learned what a lot of simps do. This is one thing I tell my clients is you never ever reach out to any girls from the past or some shit like that or any girls at a down time in your life. A lot of simps, what they love to do is they love to try to do things in down times. For an example, a simp will be on a date with a girl, or he'd be talking to a girl, and then they get to a point where it's a down time, it's quiet time, it's an awkward moment, something stupid just happened. You know, you might have said something and you might have offended her or something like that, and then they try to go in for a kiss. That's some creepy ass shit. That's stupid, and that's some simp shit. Versus when you guys are having fun, you're having a good time, you're laughing, you're flirting and shit like that, you're touching each other. That's a good energy right there. And then you go on for a kiss. Like, I will never call a girl, I will never text a girl. Like, if I'm having a bad day, let's say I'm having a bad day, right? Which is rare. Let's say I'm having a bad day, had a bad night, or, you know, like I'm just feeling off. I never call a girl. I know that's the worst thing that I can do. I read somewhere, and I think it's a study that shows, don't quote me on it, I don't know if it's honestly 100% true. It's a study that shows that women are 15 times more intuitive than men are. So when you in that bad emotion, and you feeling down, and you feeling like shit, you never ever call, text, or try to talk to a girl. Don't give her that energy. If you need to give something energy, give it to your homeboys, your pops or some shit like that. Get rid of that energy. That energy is a fucking repellent. It's repulsive, nauseating, disgusting to women. They hate that shit. I remember my client, he was talking to these girls and then they end up dropping off the face of the earth. And I told him like, yeah, you don't talk to them no more. And then he called me up, and then he called me like maybe a couple days later. He's like, yeah, I got the girl over that. And I didn't answer. I'm like, how the fuck did you do that? He's like, well, man, you know, you've been telling me shit and I've been really taking into consideration what you're saying. And he said, man, I just got this feeling like I was feeling good, man. I got this feeling like if I called her, she was going to answer. And she was going to answer and she was going to come over. And so he had that feeling. He was feeling good. He said, yeah, I wasn't coming from a place of desperate, needy energy. Like I said, you have to be emotionally honest with your fucking self. Some guys are not, which is why like a lot of guys need coaching. And he said he called her. He said she didn't pick up. Then she ended up calling him back. She came over. They smashed. They did what they did. They had a good time. You know what I'm saying? Versus another day, coach, like, oh, don't ever call her again. Don't do that. You know, and I would tell him that because, you know, just to keep your dignity intact. Because women are attracted to dignity. They are attracted to a man's dignity, his pride, his ego. But I digress. But to conclude this, guys, to conclude this up, I hope you guys took a lot of some elite game from this shit. Yeah, I know this was groundbreaking to a lot of you guys. You probably never heard some shit like this. As long as you know why you are doing something, as long as you can regulate your energy, as long as you're not coming from a place of desperate, a place of neediness, a place of thirsty insecurity, as long as you're not coming from those energies, as long as your why is not to please a woman, you can do whatever the fuck you really want, almost. Guys who are naturally good with women naturally do these things. They naturally come from a good place. As long as you're not coming from a place of, I'm unattractive. Like I said, it's the great saying that assume attraction. Build your energy. You make your energy. But this is Zay DBE, man. I hope you guys got great game from this, man. I'm full time. This is 30 days, man. Hopefully you guys cop that fucking ebook, because once that shit is done, it's on. But I wish you guys nothing but wealth, health, happiness, and abundance, man. And if you don't know what to put in the comments, man, put wealth, health, happiness, and abundance, man. And shout out to the players, pimps, hoes, and simps that watch, and I'm out. Deuces.